Going TDY? Log into the Defense Travel System and set yourself up for a successful and paperless travel voucher. Find out per diem rates, travel regulations, and helpful links for travel planning. With a web-based DTS, processing your travel voucher is simple. It's all online at www.dtstravelcenter.dod.mil. DTS, bringing today's travel information to your fingertips.
When it's party time, but you're short of ideas on what to serve, let our team help feed your team. Could you use a 6-foot Iron Man sandwich? Or would a smaller version suit you better? Maybe a deli tray of meats and cheeses, or even a tray of assorted sweet treats. Our super low prices make them all a smart buy. Choices vary from store to store, so check it out. See what your commissary's deli bakery can do for you.
Okay, word association. What's the first thing you think of when I say nicotine?
Addiction.
Okay, arsenic.
Poison.
Benzene.
Mercedes.
Benz. Yeah, very funny. What about vinyl chloride, cadmium, hydrogen cyanide?
Where are you getting all this from?
Right here, man. You know, you really ought to stop using this stuff.
What will you do if you don't play?
Baby, don't say a word. Daddy's gonna buy you a mockingbird.
If you want to adopt while overseas, the Family Center can provide helpful information.
If you have an associate's degree and work experience in a vocational technical field, Central Texas College is the place for you. They're looking for teachers for emergency medical technician, criminal justice, plus automotive mechanics, legal professions, and military science programs at sites throughout Europe, the Middle East, and Southwest Asia. Classes meet evenings and weekends, so contact your CTC field representative and begin a career in education today.
We're late. I'll drive since I'm faster.
We're not at the racetrack. Besides, it looks like it could rain, so driving fast is not a good idea.
I promise I'll stay under the speed limit.
The speed limit doesn't matter. Staying in control of your car when it's wet or icy does.
You're right. We don't race on a wet track. So, when do I get a drive?
When you're ranked #1. Like the pros, always adjust your speed for the road conditions.
Your life, your choice. Choose wisely.
Tell me you love me. I need to hear you say it.
You know I love you.
It's a crazy world we live in, but we can get through it together.
Not everything in life is black and white. But sometimes right and wrong are very clear. Like when it comes to sexual assault. Committing any form of sexual assault is criminal conduct, and it will not be tolerated.
An invisible killer could be lurking in your home. Carbon monoxide. This odorless and tasteless gas is responsible for more deaths than any other single poison. And every fuel-burning appliance in your home can produce this silent killer. Proper installation, maintenance of appliances, and providing adequate ventilation can help eliminate the threat. And by placing at least one carbon monoxide detector in your home, you and your family can breathe easier.
Check this baby out. It's the new Huckleberry, and it's got a 6.2 teragiggle processor with a sweet 12-channel synchronous K-RAM. And that's just the PDA. Here's his mama, the XPM Premium. It's got a 15-picobyte FireWire network connection. This stuff carries the same data as my computer at work, so I lock them both up when I'm not using them. And all that before I maximize my productivity with an external HD90 meta-frame combination drive. Man, does it scream. Ow! I am not.
Wayne Wade and Steve Nash collide when the Heat face the Suns. Saturday on AFN Sports.
Consuming calcium-rich foods builds healthy teeth and bones. Minimize calories and fat by choosing fat-free skim or low-fat 1% products. 3 servings a day is right for most of us, but kids aged 2 to 8 need just 2 a day. Children under 2, follow your pediatrician's advice. What's a serving? Just 8 ounces of fluid milk or yogurt, 1.5 ounces of hard cheese, or 2 ounces of processed cheese. Remember, it's your choice. Make it healthy.
In World War II, the expression loose lips sink ships reminded people to be careful about what they said in public. But today, the world's more complicated. Our enemies get information from cell phones, websites, our families, any way they can. Think about that as you go about your daily patterns and use your electronic devices. Be aware of your surroundings. Throughout U.S. Army Europe, we're committed to force protection and operation security, and you play the most important role. Be careful out there.
Who are you people? We're mutants.
Who am I? You are just a failed experiment.
It's not the same as having them home, but there are ways to keep in contact with your deployed soldier. Your Family Readiness Group will know what's available in your community. Whether it's a chance to write an email at the Army Community Service, a morale call, or even sending a video message downrange, your FRG can make it happen. Keep in touch, contact your Family Readiness Group, and find out how today.
The Joint Multinational Readiness Center training facilities at Hohenfels, Germany are expanding rapidly with the help of National Guard as well as engineers from Azerbaijan and Estonia. Together with JMRC Observer Controllers, they are constructing a world-class improvised explosive device defeat training area in the box at Hohenfels. Representatives of all branches of service, National Guard and Reserve Forces, as well as coalition partners from around the globe are training to win.
She was the love of a lifetime. She had everything. Yeah, she was a little high maintenance, and she did run around town. But now it's over. And he's out from under those monthly lease payments. If you're called to active duty or deployed for more than 90 days, you may be able to terminate an auto lease on any vehicle you had to leave behind. That is, if you apply and if you meet certain requirements. Thanks to the Service Members Civil Relief Act.
If you're nearing retirement, chances are you've been dreaming about what you'll do. Of course, one of the first things you need to do is visit your transition office. Start at least a year before your separation date to get the ball rolling, especially on all the paperwork, because often it requires sending documents back and forth to the states, and you know that takes time. So give yourself a year to make the transition to a successful civilian life.
On the timeline for January 1st. On this day in 1959, the U.S. Naval Observatory introduced the system of uniform atomic time. The measurement was adopted as the standard by the International Committee on Weights and Measures. On this day in 1962, the U.S. Readiness Command, now known as U.S. Central Command, was established. That day also marked the first commissioning of Navy SEAL teams. SEAL stands for Sea, Air, and Land. SEAL teams are elite fighting units developed to conduct unconventional warfare and clandestine operations. On January 1st, 1965, the Viet Cong defeated South Vietnamese troops in Binh Gia. 5 American advisors were killed. On this day in 1988, the Strategic Air Command changed its mission crew policy to allow mixed male-female crews in Minuteman and Peacekeeper launch facilities. For January 1st, that's the timeline.
In your home, there's a small device that can cut your risk of dying in a fire. It's a smoke detector, but it can't do its job if it isn't working properly. Test it once a month. Keep it dust-free. And if it takes batteries, change them twice a year. These few simple steps just may save your home and your life.
To make more money, get promotions faster, obtain advanced training and education, along with receiving the prestige that comes with being considered a subject matter expert within your branch. These are some of the things you can look forward to as a U.S. Army warrant officer. Warrant officers are specialty track officers and subject matter experts. The program is open to all branches, including Reserve and National Guard. Find out requirements and briefing locations at www.usurec.army.mil/warrant.
You never know who's listening in. OPSEC, it's everyone's responsibility.
No animals were harmed in the making of this commercial.
This is the Navy Drug Screening Laboratory. We test for every type of drug being used today, and our integrity is unquestionable. If a sample tests positive, I test it again, and then a third time to be sure the results are correct. Every sample is barcoded and then scanned to avoid any mix-up. If your drug test comes back positive, your chance of escaping the consequences by casting doubt on my work is nil. It's just not going to happen.
Research has shown that parent involvement is directly linked to student success and quality schools. Parent involvement leads to significant academic gains at all ages. Parents who ask questions and stay involved in their child's educational program see the difference. Parental involvement is essential to promoting highest student achievement. So join us and get involved in school.
When you sign a lease, it's important to always make sure that the lease contains a damage clause, something that clearly outlines both you and your landlord's responsibilities. It's also a good idea to conduct a damage inspection with the landlord before you move in and get a written statement of pre-existing conditions. After all, you wouldn't want to have to pay for something you didn't do. Check with your housing referral office for more information.
This is a general power of attorney. Giving someone a general power of attorney gives them virtually unlimited access to your personal affairs. It's like handing them the keys to all that is yours, including your good name. You won't want to give it out very often, and if you do, it should always have a termination date. It's usually safer to go with a special power of attorney, one for a specific purpose, to be used for the shortest possible time. That's the key to peace of mind.
The hometown.
If you use smokeless tobacco, over time the grit and sand wear away at the enamel of your teeth. The sugar in smokeless will lead to tooth decay. And the continued irritation caused by the use of smokeless tobacco can damage supporting bone structure, which can eventually lead to the permanent loss of teeth. You could say, when you chew, you lose.
Today, there exists a battlefield like never before. There are no river crossings, no impassable mountains, no ships, tanks, or artillery. This battle is fought with electrons, and we engage the enemy every day. Because hackers and cyber terrorists are putting our computers under constant attack. Report security breaches or suspicious activities to your local system administrator. Remember, when it comes to computer security, you are the nation's first line of defense.
I'm an expert in STF. That's slips, trips, and falls. And I know that slips and trips can happen anywhere. In water slick areas like these, the floors may be hazardous. And in other areas where surfaces are uneven, you'll always have to watch your step. You just have to be careful, because more than 1 million injuries occur every year from simple slips, trips, and falls.